University of Kentucky. If you have a question for Chris, please go ahead and raise your hand in the chat and we will call on you. We'll start with Jacob.
Hey, Chris, Jacob Polachek here with zagsblog.com. With you being at Oak Hill in Coach Steve Smith's final season, what does it mean to you to be the last McDonald's All-American that he's coached, and what kind of advice did he give to you heading into this?
I think it's a big accomplishment. You know, being remembered as the first and the last is always something that you would want to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna stay in people's minds for a long time. So I think it's huge just in being I'm McDonald's All-American in itself, but being that I'm his last selected means a lot. You know what I'm saying?
We'll go to Marcus with the next question.
What's good, Chris? Marcus Taliaferro, SportsCenter Next, NIBC. Earlier this season at Hoop Hall West, we snapped a picture of you talking with LeBron James. What's it like to have such a big figure of basketball supporting you and being behind you throughout your career?
It's huge. You know what I'm saying? I really look up to him as a person, you know, not even just a basketball player, but just as a person, you know, how he carries himself off the court, you know, how he was in the past, how he is, you know, how he's doing in the present, you know, he's just huge, you know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have to give me the advice that he does or show the love that he does, but he does it anyway. So that's really a big deal, and I'm really appreciative for it.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thank you. No problem.
We'll go to Zach with our next question.
Hey, Chris, Zach Gagan with Kentucky Sports Radio. I wanted to know just what the move to Oak Hill you think did for your production, and do you think that, you know, you might not be in the spot if you didn't make that move?
No, I think for sure, whether if I was, you know, still in Akron or Oak Hill, I would definitely be All-American. But Oak Hill just put me on a bigger stage and platform as far as being able to play on ESPN and things like that. So those are the few positive things that Oak Hill did for me. But I think I would be All-American regardless.
What about just your game in general? How do you think it helped you in that regard?
My game, just being just the competition level. You know, that playing in the NIBC. You know, it's like a big conference full of big-time matchups and big, good players, you know what I'm saying? Playing against better coaches and things like that. So I feel as though playing better competition, it could have helped me in that way too.
We'll go to Jack with our next question.
Yeah, Jack Pilgrim with Kentucky Sports Radio. What's up, Chris? Obviously a disappointing way to end the season for Kentucky. Just what conversations have you had with Coach Cal and the rest of the staff since the season ended, and just kind of how excited are you to be a part of that kind of next page for this program?
I feel as though, you know, it was tough, you know, seeing Kentucky lose, but I wasn't discouraged of how I felt about going there in any way, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? So I've been looking forward to going to Kentucky and still am. You know what I'm saying? I talked to Coach Cal like the next week. He came to my house and he talked to my family. So, you know, it was a good conversation. Just talked about the season, you know, next year, things like that, recruitment. You know, he didn't really want to talk much about the game because, you know, it was a tough spot. You know, it was hard, you know, being the way they lost and how they lost. But, you know what I'm saying? We talked a lot, and I'm just looking forward to being at Kentucky, whether they won the whole thing or didn't, you know what I'm saying? So it's still positive thoughts about Kentucky.
You said talked recruiting, and I know they're reaching out to people in the transfer portal, a couple new 2022 kids. You know, kind of what conversations are they having about recruiting, and what roster moves do you think would be beneficial to build around you?
Well, we definitely talked about the people that were possibly leaving or staying. You know, we talked about who will be going to the draft. We obviously somebody who already has transferred out of Kentucky. So we talked about everything like that. You know, we talked about the decommitment that happened early on. So I think I will be able to impact Kentucky positively with whoever coach brings in. You know what I'm saying? I'm confident in my game and who I am to, you know, play with the guys that's around me. So I don't think that's really a big concern for me.
We'll go to Ben Roberts with our next question.
Hey, Chris, Ben Roberts with the Lexington Herald-Leader newspaper in Kentucky. Just going back to that Oak Hill question, how do you think playing with such great teammates for a season maybe helps you prepare for what you're going to see at Kentucky next year?
Well, it definitely takes a load, helps me take a load off offensively. You know, being at the school I was before, you know, I had to do a lot more, to impact winning, but now I can do other stuff, what I'm saying? I can scale back a little bit, playing with high-level players, playing with, a 7-footer, that helps a lot, what I'm saying? So it's something you always got to get used to as you reach a level after the next level, what I'm saying? From middle school, high school to college to even possibly the pro route. So playing with better players can always be beneficial, what I'm saying? But you never want to like blend in or waver your game, but you always want to be able to play with good players, not be selfish but cohesive, what I'm saying? So that's what I learned how to do. I feel like I did a good job at it.
And in that discussion with Coach Cal, what did he say he envisioned as your role on? I know it's changing, the roster's changing, but how does he see you blending in specifically on next season's team?
Just being a wing, playing off the ball a lot, obviously, being a guard and the forward, what I'm saying? Just being a versatile role. He showed me a lot of film on Diallo when he was at Kentucky, Devin Booker, how he came off screens and got to catch and shoot situations, things like that. So, just being an athlete while also, being a knockdown shooter off the ball. And of course, you got to play defense. That's high school, college, or the next level after that. So that's a given, you know what I'm saying? So that's just the role that he explained to me. I envisioned being at Kentucky.
We're going to get into more questions. We'll go back to Zach.
Chris, yeah, obviously you'll play against Cason Wallace in the game on Tuesday, but he's going to be your future teammate. Just what have you all been, talking about over the last couple of days, and what's maybe his game? Describe his game for us, and what your all's goals are for Kentucky next year.
We haven't really talked much about Kentucky or what's going to happen next year. I just been gelling with him and just getting to know him because it's the first time I met him in person. So, just being, just having fun, not really worried about, what's to happen at Kentucky and things like that. But he's a good, good person, what I'm saying? Great basketball player, real physical, really strong guard. He loves to shoot floaters. It's kind of automatic, and that's what Coach Cal loves and tells us to shoot a lot. So, he's going to be good in that aspect. He can shoot it. He plays great, tremendous defense, and he's a good athlete. So, Kentucky fans and the coaches are definitely going to be excited about having Cason next year too.
Thank you.
Jack?
Yeah, just there's going to be obviously a lot of pressure on you guys to make a deep run next season, kind of a lot of angry Kentucky fans about how the way this season ended, and I guess that's going to be a lot of weight on your all shoulders. Is that kind of that pressure something that you're embracing and kind of something you're looking forward to? And I guess just what are your team goals as a whole going into next year?
I would say yeah, because I applied some of that pressure to myself. Being around, being that I've seen the roster of what most likely we're going to have next year. I feel like we should do nothing but great things with that team. What I'm saying? So I feel like it would be underachieving. To not achieve some of the goals that I have set in my mind. So I feel for what, how they're feeling. And so, I kind of agree with them, what I'm saying? I just kind of want to do a lot better, what I'm saying? I feel like we got a good group to do that. I'm looking forward to it.
Appreciate it.
And Chris, just a last question for the group. Can you just tell us what's been your favorite part about this week at the McDonald's All-American Games?
Definitely having the ring ceremony, we got to be recognized for being McDonald's All-Americans. It's always it's been a dream come true. What I'm saying? We got to be with our family. They got to recognize us as well as we recognized our parents for, working with us and making sure we reach this level and this point because we've done nothing on our own. So, ring ceremony was huge. What I'm saying? Having Iman Shumpert talk to us, what I'm saying? Give us some advice and some pointers. So that was most likely and really my most love point and moment of the McDonald's All-American weekend.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem.